What type of father finds out his child's mother is in the hospital in labor and agony? Maybe battling for her life and I am pulling up. If you think I'm exaggerating, think again. Because as Eric Mena was gasping for oxygen and gripping her stomach, nurses screamed, "We're losing her!" The father who helped produce that baby was out here sharing gym pictures and pretending. Nothing was occurring, which is not only petty but also callous. Mendy meets Harris, the same guy who refused 99.9% of DNA tests deemed hospital invoices. Phony and still believe accountability is Eric is in a hospital bed with a baby on the way, and his life is hanging by a thread. Mendy seen refusing to show up straight out ghosted the birth of his own kid. So now we have to consider whether this was simply neglect or something worse. For the drama that happened inside the hospital room will leave you dumbfounded. Brace up, boss. We're going to uncover the most cold-blooded event in reality TV history. So let's not. Eric Mena was physically hooked up to machines, battling for her life and crying through it. Contractions in a chilly hospital room. Mendy notices Harris, reality TV's favorite reformed guy, was purposefully ignoring every single phone call imploring him to show up. And we're not talking missed calls by mistake, we're talking muted notifications, blacklisted numbers, and one cold-blooded message that read, "She be okay, I'm not being drawn into more drama, sir. The only thing being pulled here is your reputation." Throughout every timeline on the internet, this guy constructed his whole redemption story around being a changed man with a family. Protector, a stand-up spouse, but when the time came to truly show up for the mother of his kid, he fled. Disappeared like a discount code after midnight. Now let's backtrack just a bit since the drama didn't start there. This train disaster has been festering for months. When Erica revealed her pregnancy, it was no big thing. Except she didn't tag anybody, only a cryptic message. Sometimes the truth comes up even when he doesn't. Fans began connecting dots. Timing, location, side eyeballs, and previous films, and all clues led to one guy, Mendeecees Harris. Yeah.
The same.
Mendy observes, who has been playing husband of the year to Yen Dandy Smith, the same guy who sobbed in therapy. Sessions on love and hip-hop, talking about how he's working on himself. Well, boss, the job definitely wasn't done. Because the invoices poured in like it was Amazon Prime Day DNA test. Screenshots? And a complete body hotel pic of Mendy's shirtless on Erica's bed 3 weeks before the DNA findings fell. Check, check. And what did Mendy say in response? Did he accept blame and admit his mistake like a mature man? No, he responded, and I quote, "Anybody can falsify a paternity test. I ain't signed nothing, I need my own findings. So we invent kids, DNA clinics, and screenshots to make it make sense." Mendy, see or don't. Because the truth was already out there. As was he was out there ducking parenting like it was a storyline he didn't authorize in the screenplay. Fast forward to the Erica. Filed legal paperwork, and she wasn't just seeking for child support. She wanted a judge to compel him to admit paternity and issue a gag order against him and his colleagues for disseminating forged paperwork. But what? What transpired inside the courtroom was next level. Vicious. Mendeecees walked in late, sunglasses on, with no emotion, and just as when her lawyer brought out the final receipts, Erica fell in the midst of the trial amid terror. People demanding security, paramedics running to her side, and even the judge appeared startled at the time. Erica was feeling contractions. She wasn't due for another 3 weeks, but the emotional strain caused early labor. She was stretched out of the courtroom as Mendy remained immobile. Did he inquire whether she was okay? Did he pursue her? According to reports inside the courtroom, he just sat down and said nothing. And Andy was nowhere to be found. The internet surged within minutes, and hashtags began to circulate, while Mendeecees was born into treachery. Furious. But what happened next drove the controversy into hellfire gear, because after Erica was transported to the hospital, her team allegedly made 6 distinct efforts to reach Mendy, including texting, calling, and sending a message via his sister was hoping that someone would inform him. "She's in labor, it's serious, the baby is coming, and she asked for you." And what did he say? According to an unidentified source close to his team, Mendy responded, "Let her have her moment, I'm not playing into this setup boss." The attacker woman was truly in a hospital bed, contractions 2 minutes apart, asking for someone who previously promised to be there. Anything, and his answer was to label it a setup that's not just chilly, that's Arctic tundra energy, but it gets worse. Because as Erica was weeping in anguish, physicians working to stabilize her vitals observed a baby crowning early mens. Instagram Lev making jokes with his homeboys chatting about shoes and studio time. You heard it correctly. A father was unconcernedly drinking juice from a plastic cup as his kid was attempting to join the World 1 fan. Commented, "Bro, your kid is being delivered right now and you're talking about Jordans?" The comment section turned into a war zone, with people dragging him left and right. When someone brought up Erica's emergency, he immediately terminated the live. Coincidence? We don't believe so. Meanwhile, inside the hospital turmoil, Erica was weeping. She allegedly questioned one of the nurses. Is he really not coming? He said he would. He said we'd do this together. And the nurse she broke, she held Erica's hand and said, you are stronger than you realize, and your kid is fortunate to have you. Let that sink in, boss. As the world was clamoring for him to show up, he chose quiet as a lady carried his kid through turmoil. Depression, public humiliation. He couldn't even show his face, and just when it appeared like he may somehow turn. Around 3 a.m., surveillance cameras captured a mysterious guy wearing a hoodie outside the maternity wing. I'm pacing with my hood down low and my face concealed, according to people in the hospital. Mendy saw them, but as they approached, he turned and went away. He couldn't even enter through the doors now. Boss. That is where it becomes even more terrible, because what occurs next is where Erica's life hangs in the balance. Mendy's picture ultimately burns to the ground as we left off. Erica was in labor alone in a hospital bed, weeping, wailing through the type of anguish that only a mother knows, which Mendy observes supposedly standing outside the building. In a hoodie, pacing like a terrified young kid before turning around and fleeing into the darkness. Let that picture haunt you. For a second, your kid is minutes away from joining the world, the mother is in anguish, and the room is full with IVS. Erica's vitals started to climb about the time the monitors flashed warnings and the alleged father walked away. According to sources, 3:45 a. Her blood pressure skyrocketed and her heart rate was unstable, so physicians made the call. The emergency C-section was no longer only about the baby. Erica's life was in danger, and Mendeecees was not on the phone, in the waiting room, or even in the building as he had informed his inner circle. If something really goes wrong, they'll call me. I'm not looking to be accused. She loses it if she loses it, boss. That's what this guy termed a lady nearly dying losing it. We're not talking about a petty reality TV dispute anymore. We're talking about life and death inside that frigid operation room. Erica was terrified. Doctors had to put her under anesthesia because she was hyperventilating. A nurse murmured before the lights went out. Just focus on breathing, mama. You're not alone, we've got you. But the fact was she was alone, her family was on their way, and her support system had been decimated by treachery. And the guy who put her through it all, this on social media in an attempt to seem unconcerned. The baby was delivered at 4:16 a.m. Healthy, crying, breathing was a miracle. But Erica didn't wake up straight soon because of difficulties with blood loss. Difficulties, and for about 20 harrowing minutes, the physicians tried like hard to stabilize her, according to one nurse. She seemed to be clinging on solely to see her baby, and when she eventually opened her eyes, the first thing she asked was, "Is he here?" The nurse had to shake her head, and Erica utterly broke down. She embraced her newborn daughter, tears streaming down her cheeks, and whispered, "I brought you into this world alone, but I swear I'll never let you experience that emptiness again." Meanwhile, Mendeecees was still ghost, but the internet wasn't. Oh no, they were on fire. The hashtags were persistent. And Mendy halted against Eric Vbiter, born into silent celebs, began speaking up. One R&B icon wrote, "You can deny a lady, but denying a newborn is wicked energy." Even Yen Dandy, who had been after being quiet for weeks, the radio suddenly released a mysterious message. There is strength in showing up, that's all I'll say. Fans were rattled. They filled her comments with love and speculation. One top comment stated, "Sis, just say you're done, you don't know." Silence to a guy ghosted a delivery room, but the true surprise broke hours later when Erica shared her first Instagram story from the hospital bed. No filter, no gloss, just her holding her baby eyes, watery voice raw to the one who didn't show up. "She doesn't need you, and to those who have been praying for me, we made it. She's here, I'm still here," and where it became viral in 18 minutes. With blogs reposting it, fan sites turning it into video, and even Love and Hip Hop staff shared it with a loving emoji. But you know what caused the public burst with rage? A leaking voice. Mendy apparently wrote a message to one of his sons, "And I knew she was going to perform some trick in the hospital. Why I ain't go is because I don't trust any cameras or settings. That infant is okay, and no one is going to catch me sliding on TV." TV boss, this guy practically missed the birth of his own kid because he worried Erica may record it. Let's clearly, this wasn't about safety or timeliness. It was about ego, control, and preserving face instead. After coming up for blood, telling the public that they were done, individuals began tagging VH1 requesting Mendeecees be dropped from during the performance. A fan petition titled, "Remove him off Love and Hip Hop, ghosting your own kid ain't it," received 75,000 signatures in 24 hours. However, it did not stop there. A hospital worker secretly published an internal communication log revealing Mendeecees' official listing as alerted no reaction, which means they acknowledged he was informed of the situation, but deliberately decided not to. The last twist of the day occurred when a security camera shot from the hospital's parking lot was published, which revealed a guy in a sweatshirt with his face turned lingers outside the NICU wing staring in through the glass before walking away from everyone. Recognized who it was, Erica shared the photograph to her account with no commentary, just a sad heart emoji, and her next post was a video. Baby on her chest, lullaby playing in the background, her voice murmuring. Some infants enter into the world surrounded by love, others come in understanding what it feels like to be left. Cue the internet collapsing, comments rushed in. "She didn't deserve this baby's going to grow up and witness everything, every receipt. He ain't even a ghost come up," and Mendeecees' Instagram comments, restricted stories, and erased miss remained quiet. But the harm had already been done. Because this wasn't simply about infidelity anymore. It wasn't about DNA tests, side girlfriends, or leaking voicemails. It was about a kid, a baby, and a guy who chose denial over responsibility. And boss, the aftermath from this one is just getting started, because Erica's legal team makes their move, and it's uglier than anything Love and Hip Hop had ever broadcast by now. The world has seen it all: a woman struggling for her life, a healthy baby delivered into turmoil, and father who refused to even step through the hospital doors. But what happened next wasn't just emotional, but also legal. Devastating and career-ending, since Erica's team was far from done less than 48 hours after she was discharged. Her attorney, who had remained quiet for months despite DNA rejection and media abuse, emerged from the hospital. In an exclusive news conference held outside the courtroom, he gave a cold, calculated remark. "My woman almost died while giving birth to a kid whose father publicly and privately discredited her, ghosted her, and willfully disregarded a medical issue. We are seeking full legal action. This is no longer about paternity, this is about neglect, mental distress, and slander. And let me be absolutely clear, we have evidence, Mick." Dropped. Journalists were astonished. Bloggers live-streamed the scene, and supporters went full-on digital militia justice. Eric was captured calmly at home, resting from both childbirth and treachery. Her legal team set to work and launched a civil complaint the same day, not only requesting child support but formal paternity recognition, but also damages for psychological suffering while pregnant cylinder via leaking forged DNA records, deliberate desertion amid a medical emergency, and a public character assassination. Boss, who was not even the weirdest part, since the complaint contained a subpoena request for all Love and Hip Hop production video from Erica's lawyer, claims that Mendeecees made confessional admissions on video throughout the last 6 months, confessing that he wasn't ready for another child and that he felt she was lying simply to garner attention. Noting that regarding a lady who ended up in an emergency C-section alone, Sources at VH1 verified the film existed and producers were now rushing to find out what they could legally show. One worker reportedly informed a source. More than a reunion concert, this is career homicide. Meanwhile, Mendeecees in full panic mode. Insiders close to his PR staff claim he attempted to produce a gentle statement along the lines of, "We all make errors, and I never intended to harm anybody. I simply didn't feel secure with way things was happening publicly." But the team pulled it down promptly. One source said, "Too little too late. This isn't about public opinion anymore. It's about the legal ramifications." Even worse, brand deals were falling like flies. Sneaker brands secretly discontinued their association. A fitness sponsor erased all postings featuring his face, including a podcast. An appearance planned for next week was canceled live on television, with the presenter saying, "We don't align with men who abandon women." During childhood. Period. And then came the worst betrayal of all from inside. A person claiming to be one of Mendeecees' long-standing guys shared a secret group conversation in which he reportedly, "I should have ghosted her the second she claimed she was late. Now I'm stuck with another L that the internet lost. It's mine." One comment said, "This dude just disclosed his whole game plan," and Yandy's brother, who seldom talks publicly, said, "A man's character is what he does when no one is looking. My sister watched in quiet for years, but now we all see it." And speaking of Yandandy, she finally broke her quiet. No interviews, no subtitles, merely a black and white movie showing her going down. A corridor alone, removing her wedding ring and putting it on a table and walking away. The audio has a voiceover of her stating, "I protected someone who would never defend me." The video garnered 1 million views in hours, and Erica uploaded it with 3 words, "Welcome to healing." Fans went berserk. The comments were inundated with Team Erica and Yandy forever. What treachery looks like in real life. Guys like him no longer deserve quiet. And just when you thought it, Erica left a farewell message from weeks before the baby's birth for Mendy. "I don't know what to do, but if this kid is indeed mine, I'll make it through. If this baby is really mine after a 99, I'm not going to bother with this circus." 9% DNA test photographs, belly rubbing videos, voicemails, and receipts from every conceivable angle. Boss this guy. He wasn't in denial, he was in deep delusion, and Erica didn't even hit back. She just shared a picture of her infant. Enveloped in a lavender blanket, eyes closed, smiling sweetly, caption, "She doesn't need to be claimed. She's already selected by me." And that's when the ultimate blow came. VH1 announced a special. A 2-part reunion episode titled The Delivery Room Silence Erica. Yandandy and the fallout of Mendeecees' rejection, 3 interviews, 3 journeys without scripts or filters, and single mother Mendeecees backed out last-minute producers. Confirmed that he declined to face the cameras, claiming mental health concerns. He lied about being betrayed and ghosted since the receipts were too loud, and the cameras to clear Doso now boss were left. With one clear fact, a lady gave birth amid a tempest of betrayal. Another woman let go of the guy she once guarded, and a child was born with greater strength in her first breath than the one who refused her existence. This wasn't just drama. It was a reality reckoning, and Mendy realizes he lost more than just his reputation. The right to refer to oneself as a male, that is where we are today. A newborn born into stillness, a mother alone, and a guy who once sobbed about safeguarding the family absolutely disappeared when it mattered most. This wasn't merely a controversy. This was a character masking no more. Reunion stage apologies no more. I'm a changed man edits no more. Pretending accountability is optional when the child's future is at stake, because if a guy may see a hospital full with blinking monitors, emergency alarms, and a baby gasp for her first breath and still prioritizes his ego above parenthood. That is not a guy. It's a warning sign. So now we ask you, who I have been watching the whole spiral unfold. Do you think Mendeecees ever intended? Being there for this youngster was his responsibility. Absence of fear or pure cowardice shrouded with ego, but more crucially, should VH1 cut tease for good? Tell us in. The comments underneath don't hold back. We're reading every single one. Crush that like. Click the button. If you feel Erica deserves, subscribe if you are bored of guys hidden behind PR teams. Women carry the weight literally and turn on notifications, since you already know. This is not the end. There's more video. The reunion is not over. And Mendy, he may be quiet now, but it is silence. Does not rescue you when the truth is scream louder than ever. Remain locked. In the following twist, you won't see it coming.